Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead.
Practice job, this. First, assess the field, then act accordingly. We have by all means.
Well met.
Hey all, we've had to start sending out new
Is that so?
Lachlan,
Aye,
Ricardo.
What?
This is the first I'm here. Say, you seem stout of heart. Would you be willing to go in our... You've my thanks.
Let us do everything in our power to render aid to those in need. Fancy a gander? I find goods for sale. Leave off, afore you earn my
That's
spite.
it. I've had enough.
I'd rather not force steal if I can avoid it.
Leave off, afore you earn my...
I could do this all day.
Fancy a gander? I find goods for sale. I'll treat myself to a tipple before...
The best quality is sold in
I've beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings. And if you'd like to change your vocation, come see me anytime. Do come again.
I enjoy tackling fierce foes and prefer combat's thrills to gathering items. I am confident and may act independently.
Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
Well met. Fancy a gander? I find goods for sale.
Yo. Suizo. Super Street Fighter. Yeah.
Much obliged.
Well,
It takes two to make a sale, and
we
this seller
tried
had
to
nothing to
freaking
tempt
play
us
a
with.
Super Street Fighter,
Our
but
funds are better spent elsewhere.
can't.
Gold is a resource best spent judiciously.
Yeah. So we had the version, but it wouldn't allow me to play with him at all. Yeah, he wasn't even showing up on my
Fancy a gander? I find goods for sale. Well met. Always a pleasure.
I did that, like I re-added him
Well met.
as a friend and everything. Okay. It wasn't straightforward.
Much obliged.
You've my thanks. You've my thanks. And a cop.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, old wager.
No harm in picking them. We've got profits.
Yo, this game is hard as a village. If you go out with the wrong setup, I find that you need the conflagration.
We've earned ourselves a
Yeah, because I went out just trying to be the support mage, and my whole team died, and that was the end of me, bro. I met Olga on the road, and the Olga killed my team.
The enemy gained the upper hand.
I did all of that stuff. Still got them. But the point is, once he had killed them, that was the end of me. I still no chance. I just got beat up by the harpies, bunch of creatures basically. Goblins, some goblins like
When Enrique sent you to watch my back. Is that all? Yeah, I've only just enlisted. You saved me this time. Well, I'd best be heading back.
Don't we have a report to make, Master?
What do you mean he's not that strong?
Hang in there, Master. I am coming to assist.
I'm surprised because, for example, this simple spell, the conflagration, it puts in work. It's just my regular staff hit that doesn't do anything. And I don't understand why they did this, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. the first
Hey, old
Dragon's
friend.
Dogma,
Many thanks.
you had
Aye,
the
that it
sorcerer.
was.
The sorcerer
It was
was
a bit too early for him to-
mainly
We'll be
magic.
extending his training.
But the man could defend
of
himself
training.
against melee attacks, bro. The man could just swing and hit you with the staff. Right? And if you had a staff that was strong enough,
Could not have hoped for a gladder outcome.
yo, you could actually topple foes when they think like, oh yeah, this is a mage, I'm gonna attack him. You could just jump and hit them with the staff, bat, and you see them fall long. Cause the staff like impact too strong. I don't know why they didn't put that. Like at least a little swing of the staff. Like, come on, really? What basic attack? Boy, and you can't see nothing, you know, in this fight when there's some flame going out of your hand. That fight's still going on?
Staring, Arisen. Has aught yonder caught your eye?
Be nice if you could take a dive off of this cliff, man, and just take the water. Take the water away to go to town. Yeah. I guess the mage power is to throw you, bro. A harpy attacked me there, right? And I fell. When he fell, I tried to pin him down, but just pick him up instead. And all I did was throw the harpy a couple times, bro. And that was the end of that fight.
'Tis a glad thing we blessed it,
You didn't know that? No? Didn't. Get a circle to the
Let us aim for greater precision with our next attempt.
So Suizo, why did
Some
why did the Mosai call
one such Arisen
freaking
only half a day of service?
Pergamos the seat of Satan, man? That's the topic of the stream. Pergamos, yeah. Since your mic works really well, might as well ask you. I'm sure you know. You don't know why the Mosai? Huh? Okay, in Revelation 2:12 and 13, he calls Pergamos the seat of Satan.
Their location when we need them most.
Right? You ever read that scripture or no? Okay. Well, why do you think he would call Pergamos? Well, do you want me to read the scripture so you can get the context, or what? It says here. Yeah.
Oh, the state of the village. 'Tis a sorry sight indeed. The dragon truly is calamity incarnate. Mayhap a walk through the streets will help jog your memory. When the arisen appears, so too does the dragon. It is an immutable truth of this world.
True enough.
Yeah. Yeah, 13 and I think it's 13 and 14 or 12 and 13. 212. 12 and 13. 212 and 13.
Hast thou forgotten thy destiny, thy charge? That is most unfortunate.
Right.
It does not release thee from thy fate.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep, that's Christ. That's he that have the sharp sword returned. No, he's talking about the current time. He say you dwell where Satan's seat is. In let me see, verse 13. I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. Right. So he's talking to the angel of the church in Pergamos. Right, which would be what? Who's the angel of the church in Pergamos? Because this chapter is written to the 7 churches, Revelation 2 and I believe 3 as well. It's written to the 7 congregations, right, of the children of Israel that were around during the ministry of the disciples. And it's John seeing this vision, right? So this is literally happening at the time that these guys are around. No, not yet. Not yet. He's warning the
Can you hear me,
churches
sir?
first. This whole
Sir,
chapter is a warning
with
to
me.
the churches. Right? That's why he thing out. He point out the church in Pergamos in this particular verse. But if you read, I guess if you read from higher, you should get the context. Until the, hold on, let me see where it starts. It starts in Revelation 1 and verse 4. That's where you get the context of what's
Thank
happening.
goodness. How are you feeling?
You see it?
This is the second time I've watched over you like this, isn't it?
He tells you it's who he is. The writer tells you who he is and who he's writing to.
You do not remember? Then have you forgotten that you protected, you withstood the fire in my stead and were well and truly charred? I had thought your life forfeit. I could not hear the beating of your heart. But you hung on, and by some
No,
miracle...
the visions haven't started yet. John hasn't started writing about the visions yet. All John is writing right now is warnings to the 7 churches, and then he gonna go into the revelations that he got, or the visions that he got. No, they're not, and we can read a few of them to see, right? Let me see here. Yeah, it's leading up to end time. It's leading up to visions or prophecies, right? Yeah.
Arisen? I'm afraid I don't understand your meaning.
There would be no chance for one.
Does it
Okay,
have
so
aught
can
to
you
do
put
with
it in
why
a
you were
simple
taken
way?
to the
Like, what are you
castle?
saying you understand from this thing? That he is talking about the current time and he's about to talk about the prophecies? Do you get that or no? Mm-hmm.
They said 'twas so that your wounds could be treated, though I fear you have no memory of this either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am of the Border Watch. Someone with arisen-like abilities came to this village, horn in tow. Know you aught of this?
Has he come for you? We are to part so soon, then. Mayhap you will visit me again someday. Till then, take care. Arisen.
Ah, excellent. You must be the one. You match my soldier's description. I'm glad I found you. The ruler of Vermont, currently convalescing in the capital, became a risk. If you claim the same, then word must be borne to the capital. I dispatched a missive before coming here, though I doubt the matter can be... Would you be willing to accompany me to the capital? If you truly are arisen, Oh, but forgive me. I scattered my soldiers in a bid to find you. I would not depart without them. We shall have to wait till they... Come to think of it, Sir Leonard was asking after... Mayhap now would be a good time to speak with him. Last I saw, he was...
Who might have the answers we need? Shall we ask around?
Well met. You're the one who saved Ulrika's life, aren't you?
Thank you. No, I'm a bit confused, man. Mhm.
She told me all about it. It was a very brave thing you did. I'm in your debt. Ulrika's as good as my daughter. Here, consider this a small token of my gratitude. Now, tell me, are you registered with a guild? Perhaps you already know this, but registering with a guild will grant you access to specialized training, which comes in very useful when pursuing a vocation.
Right. That's right. Okay, well, uh, Christ is the one that told John what to write, you know. Because remember in Revelation chapter 1, right? When you read from 1 to 14, it tells you he was reading the Bible on the Sabbath day, and Yahweh Shai show up behind him and start talking to him. So this whole thing that we're looking at, this thing that the letter he's corresponding is the things that Christ said to him. So Christ already started speaking, right? From before that, from where we started, right? These are already the words of Christ. I mean, the whole Bible is the words of Christ, you know, if you really want to get into it, right? But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying in the change. Yeah.
Well now, that won't do. You need an
Why would you say there's a
inspection to
timestamp
register.
here, though? Mm-hmm. Right. So what we're seeing here is direct quotes versus reports, like a reported saying, right? Like which we have in writing all the time. We have direct quotes of this is exactly what the person said, right? And then we have reports where we're saying, yeah, this is what the person said, but we don't have it in direct quotes. So you're right, that's what's happening. But going back to the original question, why did now Christ say to the angel of the church in Pergamos, right? This you're living in a place where it is
Go
Satan's
on,
seat.
'twill only take a
That's what we're
moment.
trying to investigate,
If
right?
there is aught you wish
So
to
I think
know
to
of
do that, we gotta break it
vocations,
down
mayhap I can
in
advise
in
you.
little pieces to try and understand the different parts of that particular passage, right? So now we have the general context of what's going on. We can go into the details, right? So, for example, in 12, when it say the angel of the church in Pergamos, who is that? Who is he talking about? You know, when he says the angel of the church in Pergamos, is it an actual angel or is it somebody else?
Very well. There is no wrong choice in any case. It is entirely up to you which vocation you adopt.
Right. And as a clue, every church he writes to, he says write it to the angel of that church. It is their representative, and how we know is because nobody's writing letters to actual angels, you know, and we know that that word angel also means messenger. So in that context, it has to be messenger that he's talking about. You know, he's not talking about actual angels. Exactly. Yeah, which would be messenger of the congregation. So he's writing, for example, when we look at 12 specifically here, he's writing to the messenger of the congregation in Pergamos. Yeah? And he's saying, yo, that's what they had. They had 7 churches, like 7 main bodies, right? And I would argue that it's the same thing today with IUIC and all the main camps. I would argue that it's also 7 main bodies. In fact, there's receipts to prove that, because if you know anything about the history of the Israelites in the United States, what did they call? They went by the 7 heads at the One West camp. Let me see something, if I can pull up the receipt. Right. So all the congregations today came out of these 7 churches, essentially, right? Which is pretty prophetic for something like that to happen. But let me see if I can get the receipt on it. And Wikipedia has a terrible article. Where did I have the receipt on this? A second. Let's see here. I'm just reading the article that Washington Post has on the Israelites there to see if they tell you like who splintered from the One West camp. That's what I'm looking for, because I remember reading that it's 7 different congregations that splintered out of the One West camp. I'll just. How many congregations split from One West? It's probably something I can ask the AI, man. Yeah, well, let me ask the AI because Google ain't gonna know that. Huh? I was just doing research a lot, like years ago, man. At least 2 years ago now. Who were the main people in the One West Israelite camp? Yeah, they're not giving me the what do you call it? They're not giving me what I'm looking for. Anyway, that's a small issue. In any regard, going back to what we were talking about, there were 7 main churches at the time. Yeah, and all these congregations, uh, served basically, the world of Israel, right? So, you had Ephesus, Pergamos, and Rome, and like Yahushua goes to all of them in Revelation 2 and Revelation 3, right? So now when he's addressing the one in Pergamos, that's when he says this very, very important like clue here, right? So now we know he's addressing the leader of the church in Pergamos. Why does he say to them, yo, you dwell where Satan's seat is? That's the question. And he say, Antipas's faithful martyr was slain there where Satan dwells. Right? So why does he call where they are the seat of Satan? Exactly. That's it. That's it. The ruling uh, uh, seat, basically, of Satan's kingdom, right? At that particular time. So let me just check something to see whether we come up empty-handed or not, right? Now we may, because we're using what do you call it? So-called scholarly dates, right? Because I'm gonna check when John's letters were written, right? Then I'm gonna check who was ruling Pergamos at the time, right? Because he says that's the seat of Satan, right? And we know seat is metaphor for rulership, right? The king sits in the seat, the rulers sit in the seat, right? we also know, let me pull up this scripture. As a ruler is, the Most High say, so is his people, or something of the sort, something to that effect. Let me find it. This is Sirach 10:2. As the judge of the people is himself, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. You hear that? And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. Right? So what that's telling you, the same thing the ruler pushing, that's what the people gonna follow it. Yeah. Now you'll find one or two, outliers that don't get down with the program, but most people gonna get down with the program, right? And we know that. We know that from experience here in this time, man. When they pushed. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So let me see if I can find John. When were John's letters written? I'll just leave it like that. Okay, they say between Anno Domini 85 and 100. Okay, between AD 85 and 100. Let me just check. When were John's letters written to the churches? So they give you a range. They give you a range. And look in Britannica. It said around 100 CE specifically from Britannica. And let me see if this corroborates with any other main so-called scholarly respected thing. Respected authority. All right. Okay, so these guys say around 96 CE. So Britannica says 100, and PBS.org says around 96 CE, right? So let's check who ruled Pergamos around. We'll start at 96 CE. Who ruled Pergamos? In 96 CE. And I think I should also check the Greek just to see if they translated this thing Pergamos, but it's a different word. All right, so the Greek says the Greek concordance note 4010 says Pergamos, and the Thayer's Greek lexicon in that entry says Pergamus or Pergamum. All right, and then it says a city of Mysia Major in Asia Minor, right? The seat of the dynasties. The seat of the dynasties of Attalus and Eumenes, bro. Okay? Celebrated for the temple of Asclepius and the invention. So they invented a new god, Asclepius, and they invented and had a temple of Asclepius. Okay, so now we get some meat here to work with. So It says it was the seat of the dynasties of Attalus and Eumenes. So let's check out this guy Attalus, right? You wanna do it? You wanna check out Attalus on your thing? His name is spelled Attalus, and I'll check out Eumenes. Notice it already give us the answer for why the man say it's a seat, right? These guys dynasties were around during those times, so that means they were the rulers. Attalus, Attal, yeah, Attalus.
But I shan't take up any more of your time. Pray, be well.
Never for a moment I doubt you for a stronger someday. Having said that, 'tis quite a relief.
There's no discipline that steadfast devotion cannot teach.
Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for. That place puts my ears on
All right.
This might be worth a read.
I think that's Go ahead.
Might reveal aught of interest.
No, Wikipedia is good because especially when you see the references, if there's no references, you don't know what's going on. But what do you call it? Usually they give you the footnotes. Usually they give you the footnotes, so you can.
Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
Really now.
Okay, that would be you. That would be Attalus.
You forget.
Right, that would be Attalus the first, probably.
Well aware of that. Thank you.
Okay, let me see what else.
Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live
Okay.
with myself.
Puts me in the mood for a song, it does.
Oh, say that again.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
That place puts my ears on it. Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him. That place puts my ears on it. Yet if aught were to befall him,
Execution by who?
live with myself.
Which Alexander?
Where was I headed? Precious little time.
What am I to do?
That's Alexander the Great. That's Alexander the Great. Go ahead.
Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him. That place puts my ears on it. Yet if aught were
Right.
to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him. That place puts my ears on it. Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now.
Okay.
Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him. That place puts my ears on it. Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
A tad rowdy, but I shan't complain.
Okay, do you see anything on the left hand side, the contents talking about the Diadochi Wars? I know, I'm just asking, does it say anything on the left though about the Diadochi Wars? No, no, but no. What do you call it? Okay, so we'll leave that one there for now. But I have some dirt here with Eumenes, but before I even get into that, um, I want to make sure we're looking at the right Attalus, right? So I'm going to look at this god here and read a little bit about this god and see what information they give, right? Just give me a second. Asclepius. Esculapius. It says here, but then when I search it up, it said Asclepius. This could be something. No, it could be nothing. Let's see. Asclepius, Greco-Roman god of medicine, son of Apollo, mortal princess Coronis, the centaur Chiron taught him the art of healing. At length, Zeus, afraid of Asclepius might render all men immortal, slew him with a thunderbolt. Apollo slew the Cyclops who had made the thunderbolt and was then forced by Zeus to starve Demeter. Homer in the Iliad mentions him only as a skillful physician and father of 2 Greek doctors. Let's see here. Later times he was honored as a hero, eventually worshipped as a god. The cult began in Thessaly but spread to many parts of Greece. This is important here. Thessaly would be where the church of the Thessalonians were. Because it was supposed that Asclepius effected cures for the sick in dreams, the practice of sleeping in his temples in Epidaurus in South Greece became common. In 293 BC, his cult spread to Rome, where he was worshipped as Asclepius. Okay, so it's the same god, right? So this Asclepius became in Rome Esculapius, which is what we just read in the concordance entry. It says Asclepius was frequently represented standing dressed in a long cloak with bare breast. His usual attribute was a staff with a serpent coiled around it. This staff is the only true symbol of medicine. Yo, that's funny, man. Anyway, a similar but unrelated emblem, the caduceus, with its winged staff and intertwined serpents, is frequently used as a medical emblem but is without medical relevance since it represents the magic wand of Hermes or Mercury, the messenger gods and the patron of trade. Okay, so there was nothing there concerning what's his name, concerning what's the guy's name, Attalus. See what other entries they have for Attalus and see if you can find anything that looks interesting. But I found something here on Eumenes, right? It says Eumenes was a native of Cardia in the Thracian Chersonese. Okay, at very early age, he was employed as a private secretary by Philip II of Macedon. That's Alexander the Great's father. And after Philip's death in 336 BC by Alexander the Great, whom he what? And after Philip's death by he was employed by Alexander the Great, okay, whom he accompanied into Asia. After Alexander's death, Eumenes took command of a large body of Macedonian and other Greek soldiers fighting in support of Alexander's son, Alexander the Fourth. So here under the heading, this is the interesting part, of satrap of Cappadocia and Paphlagonia. It says, in the ensuing division of the empire in the partition of Babylon, the partition of Babylon is when is how the guy that Alexander the Great gave his ring, a guy named Perdiccas. When Alexander was about to die, he gave his ring to this guy named Perdiccas, in order to symbolize that Perdiccas now had the power, right? Like that he had given his kingdom over to Perdiccas. And Perdiccas split up the Greek kingdom at this thing called the partition of Babylon, which they mention here, right? It says, let me put this link in the chat, man, so people can see what the hell is going on. So let me see. It says here, in the ensuing division of the empire in the partition of Babylon, Cappadocia and Paphlagonia were assigned to Eumenes. Okay, so Cappadocia and Paphlagonia were assigned to Eumenes. I really want to see where Cappadocia is now that it says it was assigned to Eumenes. That's some breadcrumbs there, you know, to follow. Oh snap! Okay, all right, okay. Hold on. Cappadocia and let's see here. And what's the name of the other place? It said Paphlagonia. See this place, Paphlagonia. Paphlagonia. Jeez, man. They're tongue twisters out here, man.
Yet if aught were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself. Lots to do. Puts me in the mood for a song, it does.
Yeah. Okay. So, my nigga. There it is. Right? We got it. So Paphlagonia, both Paphlagonia and Cappadocia are in the region that John was talking about when he was talking about Pergamos. I have the direct map here. Let's see here. Pergamos is on the west. Pergamon, there it is. Okay. Pergamon is on the west coast of Cappadocia. Right? So let's go here.
Could have sworn I had ought to attend to.
Pergamos on west coast of Cappadocia. Right, so we have that Pergamos on the west coast of Cappadocia. Paphlagonia. Okay, it says here. Paphlagonia was an ancient region on the Black Sea. The Black Sea coast, sorry. Black Sea coast of north central Anatolia. Anatolia, that north central Anatolia that it's talking about, is north of the Mediterranean Sea. On the west side, there's a small piece of land jutting out of Asia. Okay, that region is what they're talking about, and you'll people can see it when they pull up the map, which I posted in the chat. Let's see, ancient region on the Black Sea coast of north central Anatolia. That's where Anatolia is. Oh, it straight up tells you, man. This is great. Straight up shows you the exact geographic space that Anatolia took up.
All this hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
Yeah, they also call that area Asia Minor. Right, so this is again, this is how Esau get people with confusion.
Come with me to the
right? He called place Asia and all kind of things. So you're thinking it's bare Chinese people and them kind of thing, because that's what comes to people's mind when they hear Asia.
I'm not lost or not. You needn't worry yourself on my account.
Yeah, Asia Minor is so-called Greece, man. Or Anatolia. I won't say Greece because Greece is a little bit more in the water, but it's Europe. Let's put it that way, right? It's Eastern Europe. That's what it is. Okay. For simplicity's sake. But let me go back in this thing here. So it says Paphlagonia was an ancient region on the Black Sea coast of north central Anatolia, situated between Bithynia. Situated between Bithynia to the west and Pontus to the east. So that was Paphlagonia, and separated from Phrygia by a prolongation to the east of Bithynian Olympus, whatever the hell that is. Oh, that's a mountain. According to Strabo, who's a historian, the region was bounded by the river Parthenius to the west and Halys River to the east. Paphlagonia was said to be named after Paphlagon, a son of mythical Phineas. Okay, so let me see here. I'll read a little bit on the history. Oh man. Oh snap. Oh, let's cut to the chase. It says, under the kingdom of Pontus. It says, at a later period, Paphlagonia passed under the control of the Macedonian kings. Okay? Right? And after the death of Alexander the Great, okay, now we in the same region that we want and time period that we looking for. It was assigned together with Cappadocia and Mysia to Eumenes. That's what we want. That region was given along with the region of Cappadocia and the region of Mysia. It was given to Eumenes. However, remember we were looking at Eumenes. Eumenes was in Alexander the Great's army, and he got a satrap. That's how he got here. And the satrap he got was Anatolia, if I remember correctly. Let me just pull him up again. In the ensuing division of the empire, in the partition of Babylon, Cappadocia and Paphlagonia were assigned to Eumenes. You hear that? So he got it. He got those kingdoms. That's why the Bible says that when we look at the entry in the Strong's, That's why, sorry, the entry in the Strong says that it was the seat of Pergamos, a city in Mysia. Okay, we're done. We're done. The research is done. Pergamos was a city in Mysia, right? And it was the seat of Attalus and Eumenes. We just pinpoint Eumenes exactly as the ruler of this place, Pergamos, because it just told you the man ruled over Cappadocia, Paphlagonia, and Mysia. You see what I'm saying? So we're good. Let me just put this little piece in the chat just so people can see. This is how you book Esau Lion, bro. This is how you book Esau Lion. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, this is how you catch him, yo. This is how you catch him. Squirming and squirming. This is how you catch him worming and squirming, bro. You do your little research, and time you check yourself, you're able to add the things up and see what the hell's going on. So now going back to Revelation, whose seat is that? Right? In real life. Because again, this is what people fail to realize. The Bible is dealing with real life. It's just putting the stuff in code, man. So you have to go look up the answers. And Esau loved that because he know most people not gonna go look up the answers. Right? But for the few people that do go look it up, yo, they're gonna find out exactly what's going on. Right? And remember, Esau's whole philosophy is majority rules. So what does he think of the minority? Nothing. To Esau, the minority doesn't matter. Why? Because the majority has the power, man. Right? If you have the majority of the money, do you care about who don't have money? Like, can they stop you from doing things if things take money to do? No, because you have the majority of the money. And Esau is a money man. That's his whole thing. That's what he worship. So at the end of the day, his whole vibe is majority rules. He don't care about the minority. Right? But God tricked him because it's a small stone that destroys the statue of Babylon. It's not a big one. It's a small stone that just hit the foot, boop, and mash up the whole statue. Right? Anyway, let's go to Revelation because now we can read this thing with proper understanding. So, again, the question is, why the man say Satan's seat is in Pergamos? I know thy works, verse 13, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days where Antipas was my faithful martyr. So they killed Antipas in Pergamos, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. Right? So why is the man calling Pergamos Satan seat? And who was ruling there is Eumenes, man. Right? And not just Eumenes and his ancestors. What do you think? Let's see. Let's see. The Greek Empire. Let's see here. It tells you Greek Empire. End, I would say. At the end, what? Okay, this is confusing. Let's okay, so I'll just read you what's going on, okay, and I'll explain it because they're trying to confuse things. It says the traditional date for the end of the classical Greek period. Okay, so they named a certain period classical Greek period, and that is from a certain year to a certain year, which people can look up, right? It says the date for the end of the classical Greek period, not the end of the Greek kingdom. The end of the classical Greek period is the death of Alexander the Great, right? 323 BC. But we know from our readings that that was not the end of the Greeks' kingdom. You understand? We know that's just the end of what they later called the classical Greek period. It's not the end of Alexander of the Greek kingdom. In fact, if we look in Daniel, we know the Greek kingdom that God is talking about is here today. And that's the kingdom that's going to fight against Yahweh Shai. Right? They're just not called Greeks today. Right? Let's go to Daniel. I think it's 8:25. I'll read it. Is that a 8 or 7? Nope, it's 8. It says here. It says here. 1 second. I'll go from 21. So this is the angel explaining the vision Daniel saw to him in Daniel 7, right? So the angel's breaking it down. The angel says, the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Okay? The great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Right? So he tell you straight, the vision of the goat you saw was the king of Greece. The great horn you saw in between the goat, the goat eyes, which just means on the goat forehead, the horn you saw on the great forehead is the first king of Greece. Now, go to 1 Maccabees 1:1 and tell me, according to the scriptures, who was the first king of Greece. Unless you know it. You could just say it if you know it. Huh? Okay, so go to 1 Maccabees 1:1. It'll tell you.
I'm an apothecary in training, you see. My family runs a little shop in Vernworth.
So when I heard tell of a medicine only to be found in this village, I thought I'd come and fetch some for us. Made the journey all by myself.
No, go to 1 Maccabees 1:1, man.
Believe it?
Hit him.
But, well, as luck would have it, I've not enough gold for the medicine.
So who reigned instead of Darius? Because he smote Darius, and the book of Daniel here in the 7th chapter tells you exactly that. It says there was a ram pushing westward. There was a ram pushing westward, and then a rough goat pushing eastward destroyed the ram. The ram pushing westward was the Medes and Persians, and the goat pushing eastward was the Greeks, headed by the first horn, which according to this scripture is who? That's what it's saying, right? It says Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, was the first king over Greece. You seen that or no? Okay. So Let's go back to Daniel. He did what? Yeah, and when you look up, that's right. And when you look up Alexander the Great in the historical record, they write him glowing reviews, let's just say, you know, for these works, right? They have all his wars detailed, okay, of how he conquered the world, because we know Esau loved to boast about conquest. Well, you know, even though he trying to, you know what I mean, he try and make it look like he don't want to boast about it, but this guy love Alexander the Great. Ask any Edomite about Alexander the Great, bro. That's the damn hero, you know. And what was this guy, man? A batman and a murderer, bro. Yeah. Right. So there's the answer to your question, right? Remember we just looked at Eumenes, and Eumenes was working for Alexander. Now the scriptures tell us straight up, these guys put crowns upon their heads, and kept the rule going for what? Many years. Right? Now I'm gonna show you here the many years go until this time today. In fact, it's gonna go until the end of time, because we know from 2nd Ezra 6:9, Esau is the end of the world. Right? So Esau gonna be ruling until the end of the world, and then Jacob is the one that come after, right? And according to First Maccabees 5:3, you know, Esau is the Greek. Okay, Esau is the ancestor of the Greek, right? Because in First Maccabees 5:3, the brother called the Greeks that they were fighting Edomites, man, the children of Esau. He called them the children of Esau. So I mean, that's who they are, you know. But going back to our point, right? We're in Daniel. It said the rough goat is the king of Grecia. The horn that's between his eyes is the first king. So that's talking about Alexander the Great, right? And then it says, now being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of that nation, but not in his power. Didn't you just read that? Didn't it just say after his death, his servants bear rule in his stead? Right? Now watch this. It says, in the latter time of their kingdom, bro, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. So now the question is this talking about the latter time of the Greek kingdom that's gonna become the Hellenistic kingdom and then fall to the Romans? Well, let's see. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. Who destroyed the mighty and holy people, bro? It was the Romans in the historical record. But God said it was the Greek who did it. So who's lying? Right? I'm gonna read on. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also, here's the key, right, to show you what this is talking about, when this is talking about, right? Because he tell you, hey, listen, that Greek kingdom, what? There's going to be a latter time of the Greek kingdom. Right? So my question was, is it talking about the latter time of the Hellenistic kingdom, or is it talking about the end of the world? Well, this is going to show you it's talking about, we'll see. You tell me. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Listen to this. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand, bro. So which latter time of their kingdom is this talking about? Verse 26 will give you the answer, like directly. If you, because by now you may be going between two answers. Well, it could still be that time, or it's the last time. Verse 26 make it plain when it is. When is it? When you read verse 26. You are asking, you know, bro.
Twill be a shame to return empty-handed after coming all this way. But what more can I do? What? You'd do that? You'd get suppose there's no harm in that. If you're really sure.
Seems my luck's not as rotten as I thought. I'll wait right here for your return.
This is Daniel 26.
Or simply purchase some at Rune's apothecary here in Meld.
Yes, of course. I see.
Ah, well met.
That's it. It says also, wherefore shut thou up the vision, man, for it shall be for many days, bro. You know? Shut up the vision, seal it. Make it hard to understand, because the answer is gonna come in many days, bro. Yeah? Yo, Daniel even tell you in verse 27, nobody understood the vision, bro. Because it wasn't for their time. You see? But now we looking back, we're like, the hell? This talking about the white man, bro. You know? So, that's it. So right here, why did we come here? We were looking for, oh yeah, the succession of the kingdom after Eumenes. We were looking to see who ruled after Eumenes. Well, the Bible tells us straight. Who ruled after Eumenes, bro? Nope, Alexander died. Yeah, remember, Alexander died, then Eumenes ruled. And then it tell you, yes, the servants ruled, they put crowns upon their heads, and they continue the same thing many days. And now we just read, they continue the same thing until the Prince of Prince come, bro. You see what I'm saying? So without even looking at the historical record, we know this guy kept ruling in this area. Now let me see his issue, like, you know, like if they have his children are written here. For Pharnabazus the third Persian satrap of Phrygia was his brother-in-law. Eumenes married Artonis, the daughter of Persian satrap Artabazus the second, and sister of Pharnabazus the third. And then it says, for Barsine, the daughter of Artabazus, who was the first lady Alexander took to his bed in Asia, and who brought him a son named Heracles, had two sisters, one of which called Apame he gave to Ptolemy, and the other called Artonis he gave to Eumenes, at the time when he was selecting Persian ladies as wives for his friends. Okay, oh no, look, we have a book here, The Life of Eumenes, man. Let me just have a quick look here and see if I can find Eumenes family tree, I guess. Oh, look at how Eumenes the second here. Let me look at this. Eumenes the second. So this would be after, right after that first Eumenes. And look, we find Attalus, you know. Looking up Eumenes the second, I find Attalus. This is interesting. Eumenes the second is Attalus. Let me put I put a question mark there. I put the link in the thing, in the chat. Eumenes the second. Where is it? Eumenes the second. That's interesting. Okay, so man, we got a couple of things here. This is very interesting. Okay, let's read this. Oh, yo, Suizo, watch this. Attalus was the adopted son of Eumenes, bro. That's why the entry said Attalus and Eumenes, bro. So let me read this entry, right? It says Attalus the first, surnamed Soter, which means savior, was the ruler of the Ionian Greek polis of Pergamon. That's specific to the scripture we were just looking at. This Edomite ruled Pergamon, but yet in the scripture, the Most High say Satan was sitting on the seat, bro. You see what I'm saying? Right? Well, no, it's telling you that whoever is sitting on that seat is the representation of Satan. That's Satan. That's what it's saying. Satan's seat. Yes, Satan's seat. It says Satan's seat is there. So if you're sitting in Satan's seat, who you representing? Me? You know? You're sitting in Satan's seat, ruling, giving out orders. You're giving out righteous orders? No. Right? You're doing Satan work, bro. That's why you're sitting in his seat. You're representing Satan. You know? Let me read a little bit about Attalus here. I kind of gave away the thing, but I wanted people to kind of get it, you know, but in case they don't get it, the man's referring to Attalus and what's his name there? And Eumenes as Satan, bro. Right there in the Bible, man. You know? And people got to remember, Satan is not just a spiritual demon, but it also means adversary, right? And we know from the scriptures that the so-called white man who is the Edomite is adversary to one man and one man only throughout the entire scriptures. And it's his brother Jacob, man. You know? And that's Amos 1:11 tell you that. The man hate Jacob with a perpetual hatred. Genesis, is it 27:39? It tell you the man say, oh, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Let me see if I can find the Genesis one, because I want to make sure I'm giving the people the right thing. It's 39, 27:39. Oh, what happened there? 27, Genesis 27 and 41. I said 39, but it was 41. Genesis 27:41. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. You see that? So from time Jacob take the blessing, this guy hate Jacob, bro. And he say he gonna kill him. Now, did Esau actually kill Jacob anywhere in the Bible, bro? Yeah, personally. Not his nation. No, he didn't. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. He never actually killed Jacob person to person. But what he's done is generation to generation, he's slain Jacob's children as much as he can. Right? And it hasn't stopped. Today, go look up go to any black news station or news website or whatever today. You're gonna find some black person that so-called black person that a so-called white cop has killed. I'm willing to test that right now. Let me see if I can find anything. Right? I bet you the cops or some or Edomite killed some black person today or this week. Let's see. Texas teacher caught on video dragging boy with special needs across the floor by one ankle. Outraged mother later fired from school for intervening. Let's see this. Now this ain't a murder, but let's see what's going on here. Let's see if Jacob is still getting oppressed. Amber Hall, formerly an educator at Tips Elementary School, pleaded guilty to injury to a child last summer. Let's see. Former Texas teacher pleaded guilty in connection to an incident where she was accused of injuring a special needs student 2 years ago. Amber Hall, who used to work at Tips. Okay, let's stick to the plan. Mm-hmm. What was that? There was a website I had that had daily stats on everything, man. Yeah, it was world something. Can't remember. Yeah, what was it? World what? It didn't say stats. It didn't say world stats. It said something. I can't remember. The last thing they have is 2021. There's bare discrimination. I find nothing yet on the anyone getting killed today. Yeah, um, by by the Edomite police, but it's there. What's going on? Bare celebrity foolishness, man. You gotta get them clicks.
And this woman, what's her name? Something Red rapper.
Mm.
You know? Oh my gosh, her lyrics are disgusting.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Yep. Okay, man. Cork brutally arrests black woman who called 911. Minority-based agency accused of reverse racism. History of black cowboys. Massachusetts HS students create online slave auction. Southwick Regional High School students in Massachusetts are accused of creating a slave auction in a Snapchat group called Black People Are Low Class. Black business fair angers white residents. GOP lies ruined Black Kansas City parade goer's life. Denton Loudermill was falsely accused. Police quickly ruled out racism as motivation. Let's see. Congress voting on FBI spying on black activists. Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Service Act could be renewed. White conservatives can't get over black national anthem. Florida moves to save Confederate moments. Let's see. Judge orders release of more racist text messages from former San Jose cop who sent "I hate black people." A judge has ordered the release of a second batch of racist text messages sent by former San Jose police officer Mark McNamara. Jury Karen falsely accused black man. Trevor Morgan was acquitted in San Francisco. Good for him. Atlanta ex-cop sued for fatal tasing of elderly deacon. This is not from today. Family of black man tased until he died sues. That's from December. Last one was from January. Charges dropped for police taser video. The unarmed exonerated black man was shot to death during a traffic stop in Georgia. Georgia police officer who killed an unarmed black man during a traffic stop in October, and the sheriff department he worked for being sued in the latest excessive lawsuit that law enforcement agency is facing. Okay, this is a nice news site, but I'm not finding anything for today. Any death for today, right? But the oppression is constant, right? As we can see from the headlines. Let's see here. Black child suicide addressed here. No. All right. So let's see what else we got here. A second. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Whoops. So here we have a video of a driver just driving through crowds of black people. Yeah, yeah. What do you call it? The regular news channels don't really have nothing today. But I found this video here of a driver just basically driving his car through crowds of black people. Here, bro. You know, on Worldstar. The man just drove through the people, bro. And let me see what else they have here. Cause some of these news places, man, they don't want to show that stuff, right? Cause it's not good for business. But believe you me, it's there. Eh? One second. What? Nice. Mm-mm. Yep. My Hmm. As far as being a good, um, a good, well. So here from Statista.com, just to wrap up the thing, because I didn't find specific stories today. This is a report from March 11th. It says people shot to death by U.S. police 2017 to 2024 by race. It said, sadly, the trend of fatal police shootings in the U.S. seems to only be increasing, with a total of 178 civilians having been shot and 32 of whom were black as of March 5th, 2024, right? Um, it says in 2023 there were 1163 fatal police shootings. Additionally, the rate of fatal police shootings among black Americans was much higher than that for any other ethnicity, standing at 6 fatal shootings per million of the population per year between 2015 and March of 2024. Let's see, it says in recent years, particularly since the fatal shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri in 2014, police brutality has become a hot button issue in the U.S. Number of homicides committed by police in the U.S. often compared to those in countries such as England, where the number is significantly lower. And then it says the Black Lives Matter movement, formed in 2013, has been a vocal part of the movement against police brutality by organizing die-ins, marches, and demonstrations in response to the killings of black men and women by police. While Black Lives Matter has become a controversial movement within the U.S., it has brought more attention to the number and frequency of police shootings of civilians. Anyway, the point here being that the rate of fatal police shootings among so-called black people is much higher, they say, than other ethnicities, right? And that's from Statista.com, which is a reputable, what do you call it? A reputable website. So Esau hates Jacob. That was the point. Esau hates Jacob, and it shows. And this is just showing the extreme, which is killings, right? But you have, your essentially, retarded child being dragged by the foot in the hallway by a white teacher. You understand? At 5 years old. You have stories of black people being denied kidney transplants because they're black. Which I just read the headline of earlier. Whether I read it vocally or I just saw the headline earlier and stuff like that. So that was the point, and really the point of the whole study was in seeing that oh my gosh, man, that Esau who was it talking about in Revelation 2? Why does it say in Revelation 2:12 and 13 that Pergamos is the seat of Satan? Right? It says it because the people ruling there are considered Satan or adversaries by the Most High God, right? And the people ruling there are the so-called white people. So for you so-called black gamers who are actually the biblical Israelites, know that this is your adversary, this is your enemy, these are the people that hate you, and what you got to do about it is separate yourself from these people spiritually. Don't go do nobody nothing on the road and say, well, Saint Micah on Twitch told me to go do them stuff. No, separate yourself from these people spiritually and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's it. That's what you do to battle that, and that's how you will be saved when the true Black Messiah returns, right? And for you nations who are not Edomites or so-called white people, and you guys want to be shown mercy by the Most High God, of course, keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, because the Most High hates the so-called white man. It tells you that in Romans 9:13, and it tells you in Obadiah 1:18 he's gonna annihilate every last one of them. So if you're one of those people and you're listening to this, you have no chance. God's gonna kill you. Okay, he's gonna repay you for the evil that you done to his people. That's it. That's all I got on that, Suizo. Anything you want to say? Oh, I didn't know that, because I had the party audio going in. Okay. Okay. No problem. Yep, so I mean that's it. I'm gonna close this broadcast and open a new one. And I'll see you guys on the other side, man.